I'd just like to do a quick tutorial on Microsoft Shifts in Teams. So today I'll be walking you through how to create an employee schedule, how to clock in and clock out, how to use the copy and schedule feature, or copy a schedule feature, how to export a timesheet as an Excel file, and also how to request time off. So this will give you a good understanding of, how to navigate through Microsoft Shifts for the first time. So we'll start with creating an employee schedule. So to create an employee schedule, we'll start by opening up Microsoft Teams, as I've already done here. And we're going to look for the app called Shifts. So if you click the three dots on the left navigation and type in type in Shifts, it'll pop up here. You go into it, and you'll have a schedule in front of you. We've set it to weekly. Okay. If you don't see one here, it's going to ask you to create or pick a team, and it's going to have you select the time zone. Okay, but you'll get a blank schedule like this. So if you have multiple employees, you could do them one by one, and then you can also add people. Okay, so you can choose from your organization who to add. Simply add, and they'll show up below me. So once you're ready, you'll see a blank schedule. From here, you can click on any empty cell under the person's name, and you can add a shift. So let's say I'm working, well, let's go to this week. Okay, it's Tuesday today. So let's say I work tomorrow, and you can just click the box and type in 8. It'll try to suggest some shifts for you, but I could go 8 a.m. Let's say till 2. Maybe I work from 8 to 5. Sorry, add shift. Up here, I go 8 till 5 p.m. I know that's 9 hours. Now here you can add if they have an unpaid break, 15 minutes. Add any additional shift notes, or you can go as far as to add activities as well that you might want to track. And then click save. Now so once you create one, let's say it's standard across the week, you can copy it. So you can either go click the three dots and click copy, or you can use a shortcut, Control V or Control C, and then paste it across. And maybe Fernanda works Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay, so once you're happy with the shift, you've saved them, and then you repeat the process for the employees and the different days. So now we can clock in and clock out. So I don't have to have a scheduled shift in order to clock in and clock out, track my time. I can simply hit clock in. Now, so if you require location-based tracking, you can enable geofencing in the settings to ensure that the employees are clocking in from the right location. So when I clock in, it'll have me set up the initial time clock. So I can include location detection. That way when they're clocking in with the mobile app, it can make sure that they're where they're expected to be. And it only tracks when you clock in and when you clock out. So you're not tracking their whole shift, FYI. So we'll turn on. Okay, so now I can clock in. It says it's this time. Should you like to start your shift? Say yes, and I'm clocked in. So now it'll start tracking my time, and I can go and do whatever I want. And then when I'm ready to clock out or start a break, I can simply click down arrow and start my break or clock out. I'm going to let it go for a couple of minutes so that it shows something on my timesheet, FYI. While we're waiting for that, how do we copy a schedule? So let's say, I work this schedule pretty much every week. Right up here, we can go to the next week and we'll see that it's a fresh week. So I don't want to manually enter that again. So what I'm going to do is go back to this week. I'm going to click copy schedule, and you can reuse the schedule. So it's from this date to that date. And then you can choose the date that you want to copy the selection to. So this will go into the next week, but maybe I wanted to do for 3 weeks ahead. I can click 3 times and then copy. This is a great way to save time if your team works similar shifts week after week. And then in a moment, we'll see that those dates, scheduled shifts, have been added to the schedule. So if we want to export a timesheet as an Excel file, we'll explore this option. You can do this to analyze attendance or keep records of hours worked. So we can click up on the 3 dots, or in this case, and actually 3 dots, and then we can export schedule, start date, end date. Let's say we'll go for 3 weeks. We're going to export, and we'll see. Now this is before we share it out to the team, so you can create the schedule ahead of time and then share it with your team when you're ready. So what this is going to do, it's not the timesheet, but it's the schedule that you're exporting. So we can see when which member was working. So we have the start date, end date, time, all this information, how many unpaid breaks. Okay, so now I'll go back to Teams. We've been able to export the schedule, and now I'm going to clock out. I'm going to end the shift, clocked out. So now if I want to export the timesheet, I can export timesheet. And of course, your employees won't be allowed to do this. This is only the schedule in person. And then I want to export this. Similar to how we exported the actual schedule, now this is the timesheet that's being exported. We have a little bit more information on the timesheet. So this will show clock in, clock out time, when the start time was. I didn't do a full shift, so it's not going to calculate those. But it'll show us how many unpaid hours. So at the end of the week or end of the month, it'll give you a tally of how many hours this person worked, what's paid hours, how many unpaid hours, and it'll be great for your accountant, bookkeeper. All right, and if I'm an employee that wants to request time off, you'll see at the top here where it says requests. Let's go to requests, and I can submit a new request. So maybe I just want time off. I'm going to give them a reason, which is completely customizable. And then, or I might want to swap with another employee. So I'll be able to swap different shifts, or if I just want to offer up a shift for another person to take and why, and then it sends a notification to them via email and Teams, and they can swap the shift or take your shift. And that's pretty much it. You've learned to create an employee schedule. We've clocked in, we've clocked out, we've copied a schedule, we've exported a timesheet, and we've also exported a schedule in Excel. And we can show how we requested time off using Microsoft Shifts in Teams.